Coming up, a form of autism therapy, a few words from the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife, and don't call him a blowhard, because he's a world record holder. Coming up on Perspectives. And our first guest is with Soaring on Hope Autism Therapy, Lauren Battles. Welcome, Lauren. It's good to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Tell me about this program, Soaring on Hope. I want to know more about it.
So Soaring on Hope is we're a new facility in Tulsa, and we're one of the few that offer multiple different kinds of therapies for one child to get. So we offer physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, which I'm an occupational therapist assistant, and then ABA therapy, which is a behavioral type of therapy. But we also have a dietitian on staff, we have counseling, just lots of different forms, whereas one family can come to one place to get all the therapy that they need.
Instead of
having to go to multiple different or if one family has multiple kids that need, maybe one needs speech therapy, one needs OT, we can most of the time provide them to come to one location at one time. So that helps families cut down on the amount of places they need to be and stuff.
You know, I would, and I have no autism in our family, but I would suspect that parents need as much therapy as the child needs support. Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah, one of the strongest things, one of the best things we can recommend for families is early intervention. So that's as soon as you notice maybe something's a little different, as soon as you can start taking your kids. So we see kids as young as 18 months,
really?
2 years. And the earlier, the better, and the more quantity, the better as well. So we try to really encourage parents to start early, but that doesn't mean it's ever too late. Like, as you know, if you feel like your kid's 5 and you feel like, well, we're already 5, we've already missed out so much, there's still plenty that can be done no matter what age your child is. So we see kids all the way up to 18 as well.
No kidding. So you're able to step in the breach at just about any point.
Exactly.
It becomes a family effort. I mean, you can't expect the child to do it alone. There has to be a great deal of support. And I'm assuming that you mentioned therapy earlier. The child therapy and the adult therapy must work hand in hand. Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah, so a child needs a lot of support, not only from their therapist, but from their whole family. And so one of the things that we really strive on as a therapy company is giving resources to parents, giving them things that they can work on at home with their kid, giving them like activities to do. But we also really want to create a community of people, because you really sometimes feel like you're alone when you have a child with autism or with special needs. And so we try to create different opportunities for them to come to either our center to gather, or like at the Peace Walk this weekend, we're getting a team together to go walk.
Oh, really?
But we've also had Easter parties, Christmas parties, Halloween parties. We have a Mother's Day event coming up. Just anything that we can kind of get our families to connect with other parents, kids with other kids. And one of the biggest comments that people say after they've attended our event is, we're so thankful that someone's put something on like this, because our kids don't get to participate in Easter egg hunts or never have gotten a picture with Santa before. This is the first time we've gotten to do something.
I would, and this is a big assumption on my part, and I'm just flailing ignorance here, but I would assume that your organization also has a branch of art therapy that you employ. Am I correct?
Yeah, we don't have anyone necessarily like specifically trained in art therapy, but there's so much that can be done with sensory integration, and with that is like painting, arts and crafts, all sorts of things. We love to let them do creative things.
At what point, let's say a child starts with you at a year, what point, and again, this is not a fair question because I understand there are varying degrees of autism, but does there come a time when you say, we have done all we can do, now it's up to you, or how do you approach that?
So with most children, we, as a therapy team, our goal is to have the most kids graduate. We want them to get better. We don't want to just like have them here. Like some companies just keep kids on the roll without really trying to graduate them, because you do make money off of having kids in your therapy clinic, but we want to graduate kids. We want to get them independent. Our goal is to have them graduate. So with some children, that can be 6 months, that can be a year. For other kids, that might be 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Sometimes if they're there for a long time, we may switch therapists to give them like a different set of eyes, someone new to be with. But for the most part, if they have severe autism, it might take multiple years before they're ready to do more things on their own. But as we all grow, we're all learning different things, so there's kind of never an ending, really. We just try to get the kids as far as possible.
As far as possible. Is Soaring with Hope or Soaring on Hope recognized by Oklahoma, by the state of Oklahoma?
I'm not sure
The
what that
government
means.
of Oklahoma? Do they embrace what you're doing?
Oh, I think they do. I think one of our big goals that we're working with is trying to educate people. Currently, ABA therapy is not being funded by Medicaid, which most of our kids are on, and that's really sad because it's a great therapy that has lots of evidence practice, and it's considered very beneficial for children on the autism spectrum, but right now only private insurance will cover it. So our team, especially our CEO, are working closely with people in Oklahoma state government to try to talk about how can we budget this and how can we make this something that we can change, because our children deserve this type of therapy.
Hey, listen, we're out of time. How do they get in touch?
We have a Facebook page, Soaring on Hope on Facebook. We have a website. The Facebook's probably the best way because that's also where we post our events. And we'd love to have you join us.
Hey, thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
We appreciate it very much.
Thanks.
Truly do. Coming up, it wasn't a record, but it was a big one. We'll hear from the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife when we come back.